Today's video is sponsored by our friends at Famous Faces and Funnies, located in Melbourne, Florida, as well as our friends at Docking Bay 94, located in Boca Raton, Florida, and Ian's Display Stands. Check on the link below. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Codename New2Hero 2. Hi, I'm your presenter, Shabu Are You. Today we're going to talk about the Wal-Mart Retro Series. I was able to pick up 2 of this line, but just like with the classifieds, it seems like the Baroness is the tough one to get. I mean, it's just, I went to like 4 different Walmarts and I found Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, but could not find the Baroness. Anyway, before I jump into that, I wanted to talk to everybody for a second. My job is auditing and analysis of trends and stuff like that. And you saw the title of this video, and I want people to think about this. I think we're contributing to killing off GIJoe for future generations. Because either it's us, the fans, okay, but the scalpers are just grabbing these and there's nothing on the shelves. So how is a little kid going to discover GIJoe and start their journey on something that we all treasure? It's just all the adults are getting this stuff, and none of these, we have no chance of introducing this to a new generation so that it lives on after us. And I think that's something that the entire fan base needs to take into consideration. And I know like guys like our good friend Retro Blasting and so many other channels, talk about Hasbro fumbling the ball, and that's rightfully so. But we can't blame Hasbro entirely in this. We're at fault too. And I think that's something to think about. It's just terrible. I was just walking down the aisle, and after me, like a dad and his kid were following, and I thought to myself, man, that would have been cool if the father saw that on the pegs and gave it to his son, be like, hey, this is something dad used to play with. And that would open up a whole new world to this young boy. I don't have kids yet, but, I'm getting close to, me and Mrs. Codename are, working at it. But anyway, the point is, that sucks, dude. I mean, we got to think about that. And yes, we're at fault, and these low-life scalpers are at fault. It just sucks. Either their whole supply-demand curve and everything is just, either Hasbro needs to produce so much where it's like Rose from Star Wars, where there's like abundance of them on the pegs, but it's just something to think about. So I urge you to just think about it. And remember, if you're one of the scalpers that does this, what is all that work and effort for a marginal profit margin? It seems like the work versus your net of what you make in profit, it doesn't add up, man. So, I mean, I've seen these going for probably 25 to 30, which is double the amount. But I'm sorry, for $15 profit to do all that fucking work, that's stupid as hell. And I've seen classifieds, going at 120 originally, but now because they're available, the prices have gone down. For example, Cobra Commander, it's 19 bucks. And then I've seen people trying to sell it originally for $60. And then from $60, it's gone down to $35. From $35, it's gone down to $30. So you stupid ass scalpers that are buying like 5 of them, your profit margin with all your effort, what you bought and what you get in return isn't worthwhile. So that sucks, dude, just to do that. I think it's dumb. So anyway, let's talk about these figures. And yes, this is I know, call your eye. Elvira, the Mistress of the Dark, was kind enough to send me an autograph of her because in previous videos I covered the Elvira comic series. And the writer, David Avallone, had contacted Elvira, and Elvira, people kind of acknowledged what I was doing. And as a way to say thank you for being a fan, I got this, and it has a certificate of authenticity on the back, but I got the Mistress of the Dark's autograph. And I'm not a big autograph guy, but it's something that I'm really excited about. I mean, I got Ozzy, now I got Elvira, so I'm good. And I got to meet a lot of people when I worked at the stadium, like Metallica, Deftones, Bon Jovi, Bruce Springsteen. I never really gave a shit about autographs. But Ozzy and Elvira are the only ones I'm going to go crazy for. Anyway, with that aside, let's go take a look at these figures. And I'm also going to look at which version they were taken from. Because a lot of people are getting, the 25th anniversary line reissued. And I thought that at first. But upon closer inspection, you're going to see that's not the case. But they did use molds from previous version. So let's take a look. All right, the first one up is Storm Shadow. And it goes without saying, you cannot discuss Storm Shadow without Snake Eyes and vice versa. Larry Hama has integrated their mythos to where we are currently in the IDW run post-death of the original Snake Eyes. This figure is not a remold of the 25th anniversary line, which I initially thought. It's actually of the 50th anniversary line, version 41 of Storm Shadow. And that version was actually released twice. So we're going to look at both of them, Renegades as well as the 50th anniversary line. And I'm going to rely heavily on GIJoe.com. There's no secret about it. I'm not going to hide that fact. So anyone can look this up and pinpoint which this came from. All right, version number 41, where this retro line primarily came from, it's almost a carbon copy. There's a little bit of paint difference where the skin tone and stuff like that and the feet, but the sculpt and everything is pretty much where they used. And I'll talk a little bit more about this when I cover Snake Eyes, but man, there's so many fucking accessories. I think it's overkill in this aspect of this. And also the card back itself is a little bit more flimsy than the 25th and 50th anniversary line. And don't even get me started on the fucking file cards. This is a joke. This is what is back there. And it's like they missed the Larry Hama part. And I'll compare that. Now, all vintage file cards has these 3 parts in it. And what they did with this Wal-Mart Retro is they just kept that top part, and that's about it. All of that stuff Larry Hama wrote and the quotes from somebody else, gone. I don't know. It sucks, but... And while I'm at it, I'm going to pull up the back of the 50th anniversary line. Now, here's the thing I think we should all take with a grain of salt. If these figures help to attract a younger group or people that did not get the 50th anniversary of the Renegades figures, then yes, this is great. It's a low-cost option at $13 if you could find it at Walmart. Again, that's the problem, is all these collectors and us are taking them all. So let's begin now with Snake Eyes. Alrighty, now we move on to Snake Eyes. And boy, did the community, were they up in arms when they saw this and heard about it. You got the version 1 card back, but this figure is a version 2. And like I said, this figure was, again, part of that 2-pack that I mentioned earlier with Snake Eyes. But it actually first came out in the Pursuit of Cobra line in 2011. So this will be the 3rd time this figure is released. And again, it has a smorgasbord, I love that word, of accessories. So much so that there's no possible way he could be equipped with all of these at once. And I want to talk about this a little bit more at the end. I'm going to say this, everybody's kind of been hard on these. Again, the same deal with the file card, just the first part and everything else is gone. I mean, the meat of what a file card is gone from this. So, whatever it is. But like I said, we're all like hating on these, and I know Hasbro Pulse that HasCon talked about the new figures, Scarlet and Destro, as well as the Fang, which is the 25th anniversary Fang, and all that stuff. But the purpose of these figures is to introduce young kids into the G.I. Joe mythos, not for adults and scalpers to pick up 5 of these things and sell them on eBay. The purpose of these things and why I think these are actually good is so kids discover this. And I think we're missing the point of this. If you're a real fan, if you care about this entity, you're going to leave cards for a kid to discover on the shelf instead of taking 5 or 6 of them. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's very important to do that because, like I said in the beginning, by not doing that, we are going to kill off G.I. Joe. It's going to end with this generation, period. So to summarize, yes, these retro line has a bunch of flaws. It's like, but at the same time, if their purpose is to introduce a new fan base into this, then providing a iconic figure, a good one, with all these accessories may be attractive. And at the price point of $13, I think that's really good. So I hope you take this with a grain of salt and think about it. When you go into the store and, you see one, or, just do the sensible thing. Anyway, that's my review for this. This is Shabu Are You signing off.